she was only 16. But when Kayla Morgan met Jake online, she felt seen for the first time in her life. Jake was 19, sweet, funny, and always knew the right thing to say. While her real life felt like a prison of strict rules and loneliness, their nightly chats felt like freedom. They met on a gaming app. It started with playful teasing, late-night voice calls, inside jokes. Within weeks, he was telling her things she'd been starving to hear. You're different. You get me? I think I love you. Kayla believed him. She needed to. But Jake wasn't who he said he was. And by the time she found out, it was already too late. Let's run away. That's what he said one night after Kayla complained about her mom reading her texts. Jake made it sound romantic, like a movie. Just you and me. No rules. No one to hurt us. Kayla hesitated. But Jake knew how to twist her doubts. He called her brave. Told her real love means sacrifice. Said he already bought the bus ticket. All she had to do was meet him at the station. And she did. At 4 a.m., Kayla slipped out of her bedroom window. She left a note, I'm finally choosing me. By 6:30 a.m., her mother woke to an empty bed and a nightmare beginning. What Kayla didn't know, Jake wasn't 19. He wasn't even named Jake. Security footage at the bus station later revealed the truth. The man who picked her up was 36 years old. His real name? Paul Bledsoe, a convicted predator who'd already served time for luring underage girls across state lines. He'd been using fake profiles for years, changing names, using apps where kids hang out, always looking for someone vulnerable, someone easy to isolate. Kayla was his next target. The disappearance sparked a frenzy by noon. Kayla's face was plastered across social media. Amber alerts, news headlines, hashtag campaigns. Her mother, Rachel Morgan, went live on Facebook, sobbing through gasps. Kayla, if you see this baby, just come home. Please come home. But Kayla wasn't watching. She was on a Greyhound bus. Head on Jake's, Paul's, shoulder asleep. Her phone was dead. Her fate uncertain. Inconsistencies began to emerge at first. Paul played it cool. He took Kayla to a cheap Airbnb. Said they'd only stay a few days. But then came the rules. No phones. No windows open. No contact with anyone toxic. He told her, they'll try to brainwash you. We're all we have now. Kayla tried to brush it off. Tried to believe it was just for safety. But then he locked the door. The mask starts to slip. He got angry fast. Over small things. A forgotten toothbrush. A text she tried to send. He grabbed her arm. Hard. Said, you don't get to disrespect me after what I gave up for you. Kayla's stomach dropped. This wasn't love. This wasn't Jake. This was something else entirely. The breaking point. On the third night, Paul left for groceries. He was gone longer than usual. Kayla, pacing the small room, opened the closet and saw something that made her blood run cold. A collection of ID cards. Fake names. Photos of other girls. One of the IDs had her name on it. A fake Kayla Morgan, age 18. Printed. Laminated. Dated. That's when she realized he was preparing to erase her. Meanwhile, back home, FBI cyber units traced Paul's IP address. They'd linked his face to multiple online grooming reports, most never proven. But they finally cracked one lead, a suspicious Airbnb booking under the name Jason Kellner. An hour later, agents were on their way. But would they make it in time? Kayla's final attempt. With shaking hands, Kayla pulled a paperclip from the drawer. She'd seen a YouTube video once about unlocking doors. She heard a car pull up. Paul was back. She had seconds. The lock clicked. The door creaked. She backed away, heart racing. Paul walked in holding a plastic bag. Saw the paperclip. Paused. Then he smiled. You weren't trying to leave, were you? He stepped closer. That fake smile still stretched across his face. The paperclip dropped from Kayla's hand. She knew she couldn't outpower him. Paul set the grocery bag down gently. Come sit down. Let's talk. But Kayla didn't move. He tilted his head. You're acting like you don't trust me, Kay. Her pulse pounded. She had to play smart. She had to survive. Meanwhile, The FBI was closing in. Agents tracked Paul's burner phone to a small Airbnb in a rural county, but they had no warrant yet, and the property was rented under a fake name. Time was running out. They coordinated with local police, knocked on doors, started surveillance. But Paul had a backup plan. Inside the Airbnb, control tightens. Paul sat Kayla down. "You're not like the others," he said. "You're special. But special girls, they obey." Then he showed her something. An old phone, photos of girls. Dozens. Some looked terrified. Others looked drugged. Then Kayla saw herself. A picture of her sleeping. Labeled KM18_ready. Her stomach twisted. He was planning to sell her identity. Maybe more. She had to escape. Tonight, Paul fell asleep with the door bolted. Kayla crept into the bathroom, found a loose metal rod under the sink, tucked it into her hoodie. She waited, listened, planned. At 3:12 a.m., his phone buzzed. He stirred. Kayla didn't wait. She lunged at the lock, twisted the rod, heard a click, but then footsteps. Back outside, agents make a move. The FBI finally got a tip. A neighbor saw a girl matching Kayla's description through a back window. They called it in. SWAT mobilized. They had a warrant. They had a plan. But they didn't know Paul had seen the police cars. He snapped awake. Paul ran to the window. Flashing lights. He turned to Kayla. "You did this." She backed up, heart racing, nowhere to run. He grabbed her by the arm. "Hard. You ruined everything." Then he pulled a knife. The standoff begins. Outside, agents surrounded the Airbnb. A negotiator called through the megaphone. "Paul Bledsoe, come out with your hands up. We know you have Kayla Morgan." Inside, Kayla cried. Paul held the blade to his own neck. "They'll kill me. You don't get it." Kayla whispered, trembling. "You don't have to do this." Then, bang. The door flew open. Flashbang. Shouts. Footsteps. Gun drawn. And that's when they saw. Kayla collapsed on the floor, shaking, crying, alive. But Paul? Gone. The bedroom window was shattered from the inside. Blood smeared the glass. But no body. He'd escaped. Again. Outside, chaos unfolded. SWAT stormed the perimeter. Helicopters scanned the tree line. Dogs barked into the night. But there was no trace. No footprints. No tire marks. No Paul. Just silence and one terrified girl. Back inside the Airbnb, agents found something strange. An old laptop, locked behind heavy encryption. Photos, videos, dozens of files. But one file caught their attention. KM18_final MOV. They opened it, and what they saw made everyone freeze. Kayla watched with them. The screen lit up. It was her, tied to a chair, crying. From 2 nights before, Paul stood behind her, smiling. "She's perfect," he said. "Innocent, smart, and trusting." Then he looked into the camera. "And she won't be the last." The FBI worked fast. They traced the file origins, multiple IP addresses, proxy chains, Tor network. But one name stood out in the metadata. Amanda_15. Kayla's eyes widened. "I saw that name." On a note in his pocket. Agents looked at each other. Amanda? Another girl? They raided another safe house. A logbook from Paul's fake identity. Dozens of names. Ages. Notes. Under the name Amanda_15, it read, "Last seen, Nebraska, 2021. Good condition. Obedient." Obedient. Kayla felt sick. He wasn't just manipulating. He was collecting. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away, a gas station camera picked up Paul. Limping, bleeding, but alive. He got into a stolen pickup truck, driven by a woman, but she didn't look scared. She looked familiar. The clerk thought he recognized her from a missing poster years back. Her name? Amanda. Back in FBI custody, Kayla begged. "We have to save her." But the agents weren't sure if Amanda was a hostage or an accomplice. Then a package arrived at the FBI office. No return address. No fingerprints. Inside, a phone. It vibrated. A video message. They hit play. Paul appeared, standing next to Amanda. "You're looking in the wrong places," he said. Amanda stared blankly at the camera, expressionless. "Empty. Kayla ruined everything. Now someone else has to pay." He held up a photo. Blurry, but clearly a young girl. Blonde, maybe 12 or 13. A date was scribbled on the back. Tomorrow. The clock was ticking. FBI analysts scanned the photo from a video. A little girl, face pale, eyes hollow. In the corner, a calendar, circled in red. Tomorrow. Who was she? Where was she? And what was Paul planning? Kayla stared at the image. She didn't recognize the girl. But the background? It felt familiar. The wallpaper, the chipped green paint, the tiny detail everyone else missed. "Wait, pause it, zoom in." She pointed at the wall behind the girl. There it was, a sticker, cartoon frogs. She'd seen it before. "That's the kids' room at that abandoned daycare in Omaha. He took me there once, said it was special." The agents jumped into action. They raided the building within hours, broke down the rusted door, swarmed the tiny hallways. Nothing. Empty. Silent. Cold. But in one of the back rooms, a mattress, food wrappers, a child's sweater, still warm. They had just missed them. Then the real twist hit. A phone buzzed in the command center. Unknown number. Blocked location. A voice message played. "You're close, but not close enough. She'll be gone by sundown, unless Kayla comes alone. This time, she finishes what she started." Click. The team went silent. Paul had set the trap. And now, he wanted Kayla back. Kayla refused at first. She'd already escaped him once. Barely survived. But this little girl? She couldn't live with doing nothing. "I'll go," she whispered. "But I'm not walking into that place unarmed." The FBI outfitted her with a wire, mini tracker, panic button. She left before sunrise. Destination, Lake Point Motel. Room 7, just like the voice message instructed. The motel looked abandoned. Paint peeled from every wall. Windows shattered. A neon sign flickered above her. No vacancy. Room 7's door stood slightly open. Kayla's heart pounded as she pushed it. Darkness inside. A faint TV static buzzing. And then, "Close the door," Paul's voice echoed. She froze. He stepped out from the shadows. Hair longer. Beard unkempt. Same chilling smile. But something was off. No Amanda. No little girl. Just Paul. And a chair. "Sit," he said calmly, "or she disappears forever." Kayla obeyed. He opened a folder. Inside, photos of Kayla. Fake IDs. Social media posts. Even screenshots of texts she never remembered sending. "You've been part of this longer than you think," he said. She blinked, confused. "You're not just bait, Kayla. You were the blueprint." Flashback hit her like a train. A strange counselor from her foster home, always asking about her fears, her likes, her passwords. He'd studied her, molded her, used her story to attract other girls. "You made them trust me," he whispered. Kayla's mouth went dry. She was never the only victim. She was a prototype. Then came the real gut punch. He stepped aside. From behind the curtain, Amanda, alive, but different, smiling, holding the little girl's hand. And worse, Amanda was armed. Paul grinned. "Meet your replacement." Amanda handed Kayla a note, scrawled in Paul's handwriting. "You have 1 hour. Choose. Save the girl, or let her become you." Kayla didn't blink. Amanda was holding a gun, but her hand, trembling. The little girl stood between them, confused, scared. "Amanda, you don't have to do this. He lied to you, like he lied to me." Paul watched from shadows, arms crossed, smile wide. Amanda's voice cracked. He said, "You betray us. That you were working with the feds." Kayla took a step forward, slow, Careful. You know he's lying. You found the files, didn't you? The IDs, the fake names. All the girls. We were just numbers to him. Amanda's grip weakened. Suddenly, Paul lunged. He grabbed the child. Gun pressed to her head. You think you've won? He growled. I built this from nothing. Kayla hit her panic button. The hidden mic buzzed. The signal sent. FBI en route. But seconds felt like forever. Paul dragged the girl toward the back exit. Amanda! Now, he screamed. Amanda froze. Gun still in her hand. Tears in her eyes. Then she turned, pointed it at Paul. Let her go. He laughed. You won't shoot. I don't have to. Sirens. Tires screeching. FBI burst through the doors. Paul turned, distracted. Kayla moved fast. Tackled him. The gun flew. The little girl screamed, but ran to Amanda. Seconds later, Paul was on the ground, cuffed, screaming. You needed me. You all needed me. Amanda collapsed, not from wounds, but from weight. The guilt, the lies, the years. Kayla wrapped her arms around her. It's over. The little girl returned to her family. Amanda, she cooperated, testified, got reduced time in a secure mental facility. Paul, sentenced to 85 years. Federal trafficking, fraud, child endangerment. His name will never be spoken again. Kayla's life, still healing, but now she speaks in schools, warns teens about online predators. And every time she tells her story, she ends with one line. If someone online loves you more than they know you, run. Trust isn't instant. Love isn't secrets. And predators wear many faces. Sometimes the worst monsters, smile the biggest. Kindly subscribe for more powerful stories like this.